Hello, this is CJ and welcome to my manga pickups for February 2016. It's leap day, so that means I had one more day to pick up manga this year. Yes! I'm really excited to show you what I got. Let's get to it. And here's the collection from this month. I definitely have a lot less than last time, but you know what? I say quality over quantity, not the other way around, so let's get started. First up, we have A Girl on the Shore by, I'm gonna mispronounce his name. Inio Asano? Forgive me if I butchered that name. This is another very mature manga from Asano. Asano has written one of my favorite manga of all time, Solanin. I highly recommend that. I haven't read this one yet. I just kind of haven't sat down and checked it out yet. But it's pretty thick. And it's very pretty, honestly. It's got one of the most pretty covers. One of the prettiest covers I have ever seen. And yeah, I've only read about, I'd say like 10 pages of it. But I have a feeling it's going to be just as good, if not almost as good, as everything else I've read of his. So honestly, you can't go wrong with Asano. And I got this, I think for this $8.50 on Amazon. They had a sale. It was either $8.50 or $9.50. I mean, either way. I mean, for a volume this thick, that was really cheap. So I definitely ran for it. So yeah, if you can find a deal on this book, definitely get it. If not, it might be worth getting anyway. Next is Volume 3 of My Hero Academia. This is another volume of a really good series. Oh, see, I was going to get to this, but the book kind of introduced it for me. So let's look at that lady's lovely costume. I should clarify, I have no problem with revealing costumes. My only issue with My Hero Academia is that I was really excited to introduce this series to my junior high students that I substitute teach. Because the characters are the same age as my students, or similar ages. They're like Naruto characters. But some of the women have costumes, and that makes it impossible for me to bring these volumes to their school. I just can't have kids read it. It's not so much a problem of that the kids themselves can't handle the content and the costumes. It's just that I don't want parents and the school administration complaining. So it's just completely out of the question. Not going there. My Hero Academia is out. And that's really a shame because I feel like the story is really good. And it's a bummer. Next up, volumes 10 and 11 of Noragami Stray God by Adachi Toka. Again, very good series. I love the matte covers. I mean, the matte covers, I know it's kind of a weird thing, but the matte covers are what is keeping me buying this series. I mean, Kodansha Comics, they do such a good job publishing manga. I love them. And they do an amazing job with Noragami. In fact, again, kind of a little nitpick here, but one of my favorite parts of Noragami is all of this stuff in the back. Like, when they change dialogue to fit an English audience, they really explain what they did. They try to keep it as close as possible, which I totally understand when a manga localizes things, but I mean, bravo to Kodansha for at least being honest with us about stuff they cut and stuff they leave in. That's really cool. And if you remember from last month, I actually lost this copy in the mail, my first copy that is. And I had some weird thing with the post office. I've never had that happen with manga before. But I don't know, I just ended up buying another one. It wasn't really that big of a deal. Losing one manga out of, like more than 100, really not that big of a deal. Next up is One Piece 77. You all know One Piece. Do I really have to talk about it? This is from the Dressrosa arc, and not really much to say. I absolutely love this little image on the back cover. In fact, I think this is the color art for the popular character pull list. So that was pretty cool. Really, how do I put this the right way? It's not that I don't like Dressrosa. It's just that after 2 whole years slugging through this arc, I haven't been all that excited to get these volumes in the mail. But again, it's One Piece. You can't go wrong with One Piece. And actually, I'm going to go get something really quick. This is going to be kind of hard with one hand, but I'm going to try to do it. So I also own the Japanese edition of this volume. Actually, I'll show them side by side for you right here. Not that much difference, really. Well, actually, yeah, there's a little bit of difference. Doflamingo's foot gets cut off in the English. But, I mean, overall, just not that big of a difference, except there's a little Easter egg in the Japanese edition. And I actually got this book specifically for this Easter egg. If you pull off the dust cover, you get Panda Man. There he is. Guys, I just spoiled Dressrosa for you. It was Panda Man the whole time. I'm so sorry. I hope you can tell I'm being sarcastic. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's a shame that we don't get the dust covers in the American version because, you know, you see, we don't get Panda Man. It'd be cool if they had like a little note in there that said like, oh, if you had the Japanese one, you'd know this. Oh, also for you Naruto fans, see that little swirl? See a little Naruto up there? That's a little tribute from Oda to Masashi Kishimoto for ending Naruto. So I thought that was pretty cool too. Yeah, very good, very good, very, very good volume to own in Japanese. If you're going to own any volumes in Japanese of One Piece, make sure it's the ones with the really, really cool Easter eggs in them. There's a few of them. Next up is Puella Magi, Madoka Magica, the movie Rebellion. Again! Oh my gosh, again, the movie Rebellion. It's not a movie, it's a manga. I get you're adapting the movie, but just call it Rebellion, please. Whatever, it's not that big of a deal, especially considering... Now, if you watched my video last month, you would know that I said if this volume, Volume 3, was as good as Volume 2, this would be the... How do I put this the right way? The manga adaptation, so this adaptation, would be better than the movie for me. And sure enough, this blows the movie out of the water as far as story. As far as animation, the movie's just going to win every time. The animation in Rebellion is just absolutely incredible. They did an amazing job. But as far as the story goes, they tell it way better in the manga. I love these adaptations by Hano Kage and Magica Quartet. I mean, they do such a really good job. And I won't spoil the end again for those who haven't seen Madoka or Rebellion, but they had one really, really, really subtle change in the way a character's appearance was when they reintroduced her at the end of the story that changed everything for me. I mean, not everything, but I mean, okay, yes, everything. I saw her, and I saw what they did with the change in appearance. Again, it's so hard to say because it's so vague. But just that one scene at the end, the one little alteration in that scene in the end, really, really made this version for me. And I am super, super excited for the next movie because now I can appreciate Rebellion. I didn't really like Rebellion at first, but this manga has changed my mind. I really, really adore this adaptation. I definitely recommend you pick it up. Also pick up The Different Story, because The Different Story is a really, really good manga too. Again, adapted by Hano Kage, same person. Check those out if you like Madoka. And next up, oh boy, it's another Madoka thing. This is Puella Magi, Homura Tamura, number 2. So you got Rebellion. Kind of sad story, you know, about loss and friendship and longing. And then you have Homura Tamura, which involves mechs and mysteries and aliens and Kyubey being, well, himself, I guess. It's really, really hard to explain what Homura Tamura is, besides if you took Madoka and you just erased everything about it that was Madoka, and then replaced everything with fan interpretations of how the character should act, that's Homura Tamura. Now, it sounds like I'm just absolutely destroying this book. It sounds like I absolutely hate it. I'm going to be frank, I didn't like the first one at all because I went in there completely blind. I didn't know what to expect, and I just really, really did not have a good time. And then I totally forgot that I had pre-ordered the second volume, and I got it this month, and I opened it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, here it is again. How did I forget that I pre-ordered this and didn't cancel it? Well, I'm going to be real with you. Because I knew what I was in for going in, I actually really, really enjoyed it. It feels like something like... It feels like D.G. Charette from like the early 2000s. It kind of feels like those comics. Like, it's very fun, it's very goofy. The characters do not at all act like they should, but in a way that's... I don't know, it's kind of funny. It's hard to explain. You would think that the butchering of some of my favorite characters in all of anime would be something that I would just absolutely detest, but I really, really do enjoy it. I mean, I absolutely enjoy it. I especially enjoy Monica's characterization. For some reason, almost every single like thing that Monica does in this story is just completely sadistic or just idiotic or just completely out of control. It's really, really funny. Monica with a personality is great. So yeah, definitely. I don't know. I wouldn't call Homura Tamura like the best thing that ever happened to Monica, but I wouldn't call it the worst either. That's that's another manga. And actually, this is a question I wanted to ask you guys. Do you want me to do a video about the different Monica mangas out there? Because there's a ton of them. And I know pretty much about every single one of them, at least that was published in the United States. And I can definitely talk about them. So let me know in the comments if that's something that would interest you guys, because I have a lot to say. Next up is School Live. Oh boy, School Live. So School Live is a thing. I did a video on it. I actually put the video back up not too long ago. It's a thing. Again, I don't really want to talk about it that much because, well, the more you talk about it, the less fun it is to read. You really want to go in blind. But, you know, it's volume 2. And again, the one thing I don't really appreciate about School Live is some of the slight fan service. Like, it never gets like High School of the Dead, or even like something like, I don't know, like even like the fan service that like Naruto has, for example, never gets to like those levels. But I feel like it's a bit distracting. I like fan service, but you know, there's a time and a place, and I kind of like the drama around the situation these girls are in, rather than some of the weird fan servicey stuff we get. But again, that's just my own opinion, and I really enjoy School Live, so there you go. Next up is, I'm just going to talk about all 4 of these. Oh, hello, fuzzy slippers. Next up is just, you know, all 4 of these. The reason why I'm showcasing all 4 of these is because, as I mentioned before, I'm a substitute teacher, and sometimes I bring in manga to read. Like, I'll hide it in my purse, and depending on like how good the class is, like if it's a study hall, I'll just read in the back of the classroom. And occasionally my junior high students would notice that I was reading One Piece, and a lot of them are into One Piece. And they would say, ooh, can I read it too? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever, you know, I wouldn't care. But because I was like on volume like, you know, 38 or something like that, they like couldn't get into the story because understandably they didn't know what was going on. So I thought to myself, how about I just buy a bunch of manga and like bring it to school with me, and they can read it during their study hall. Because if you don't know, you know how junior high students act, which I'm pretty sure you have a good idea about how junior high students act. A lot of, and especially the boys will say, like, I didn't bring anything to do, so I'm going to sit in the study hall and just talk to other people and mess around and stuff. This not only keeps them quiet, but opens their minds a little bit. So I bought a bunch of first volumes of different series that people suggested. Magic Knight Re-Earth I got for the girls. Nobody suggested it because nobody knows about Magic Knight Re-Earth. It's one of the best mangas you can ever get for girls. I mean, it's a great manga in general, not just for girls. I mean, just look at Hikaru on the front. What a badass. So I'm really, really excited for some of my 7th and 8th grade girls to check that out. So yeah, and in the comments, if you know of any manga that would be awesome to recommend for junior high students, please let me know. And just one rule about it, though, it can't have excessive fan service, or really any sort of prominent fan service like My Hero Academia. Again, that it's a bummer, but I just can't have it. I can't get into trouble like that, and I don't want, I just don't want that at all. So yeah, just let me know. Next up is my American comic. It's Fables. I absolutely adore Fables. I'm not really into American comics that much because with manga, Oda writes One Piece. And that's all who's going to write One Piece. If Oda were to drop off the face of the planet tomorrow, nobody else would write One Piece. It would just end. With Fables, got kind of the same thing. Bill Willingham wrote the entire series. Other people do the art, which I think is actually pretty cool because you can see a bunch of different art styles in it. But, I mean, just the consistency. Just seeing that name there every single time. Oh, it's so nice. And I got this volume at a place called Myopic Books. I'm hoping I said that right. It's in Chicago on Milwaukee Avenue. I definitely recommend that you guys go here. Don't worry, I didn't get like a plug from these guys. This isn't an advertisement, but this is one of the coolest bookstores I've ever been in. It's a used bookstore, and the American comic book section is huge. They've got a ton of stuff. Unfortunately, the manga is a little dry. They don't really have that much manga to talk of, but I mean, it's just really, really cool. They got like a basement and like this really, really cool upper floor. Definitely would recommend going there if you're a book lover. It's super fun. But yeah, I'm slowly collecting all of Fables. Fables and One Piece. Actually, it's kind of weird that I have that next to Fables. Are like two of the series that are like, Fables has like, I think it's 21 or 22 volumes total. So for an American comic, that's pretty big. So I've been slowly buying them used. I don't want to buy them all as they are, because gosh, they'd be like 15 to 20 bucks a volume, and gosh, no thank you. I'll just wait to get them used. So, but oh yeah, I got one more thing. So usually I don't share these much anymore, but I had to share this one. I got a Nendoroid of the Joker as portrayed by Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, just because I don't know why. I thought about why I did it, and I think it might be because I have such a connection to that movie. I worked in Chicago for a very long time in a very, how do I put this? A section of the city that was prominently featured in The Dark Knight. So I have a pretty strong connection with the movie. It brings me a lot of fond memories. So when I saw they were making a Nendoroid of the Joker, I picked it up. He is super creepy and super weird. It's like anime Joker. Like, what the hey? That's really creepy. If you guys want to see more of my figures, I was thinking about doing a figure collection video. Please let me know if that's something that would interest you, and I will definitely go and do that. Oh my gosh, how did I forget about these two DVDs? So, this is Girls in Panzer, the complete series. I got this for really, really cheap. It was something like $7 or $8 on Right Stuf. They were having this ridiculous sale for some of these series, and I had to pick up Girls in Panzer. If you don't know about Girls in Panzer, it's this... it's like... How do I put this the right way? My friends and I we had these things called bad anime nights in college, and basically we would scroll randomly through Crunchyroll, see whatever, like, bad anime we could find. Like, bad again. We weren't sure of, like, what we were actually watching. And then we would just laugh, like, and have a good time at whatever popped up on the screen. So we kept scrolling back and forth and back and forth, and Girls in Panzer would always show up, and somebody would always be like, but Girls in Panzer, and we were like, no, we gotta save that trash for an especially good night. So we finally get to Girls in Panzer, and it was really good. We really, really enjoyed the first episode. The first episode has this really, really cool twist in it that makes you go, ooh, what? Like, it was really good. You know, if you're like the cute girls and you like tanks, this is definitely the series for you. But if a bunch of high school girls were participating in recreational tank fighting, excuse me, sounds interesting to you? Definitely check this out. It's only 12 episodes, can't go wrong. Unfortunately, the manga adaptation, which stars my favorite character, is not that good. Oh, I really wish I could, really wish I could recommend it, but I can't. Sorry. And Howl's Moving Castle is really, really good. You know Howl's Moving Castle. I don't have to talk about this movie. It's awesome. I originally owned it on DVD, but then I gave it to my sister because she wanted it so bad, and I was like, whatever. And so I just rebought it on Blu-ray for, I think it was like $15 on Amazon. I was like, done. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love it. I'm totally a casual, because if you ask me what my favorite Studio Ghibli film is, it's totally Spirited Away. Gosh, I'm the biggest casual. Oh, before I forget though, I bought Girls in Panzer on Right Stuf, and they sent me, look at this. They sent me this promotional advertisement for Sailor Moon, and I am calling Illuminati conspiracy, because how did they know that my favorite Sailor Soldier was Venus? How did you know, Right Stuf? You creep me out. That is too much of a coincidence. Oh my gosh, I'm creeped out. Anyway, no. But yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, that's gotta be everything. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I do apologize for the lack of videos. My life has been pretty crazy lately, but I have a ton of fun ideas and videos that I have planned coming up in March and especially April when the 3rd season of Sailor Moon Crystal comes out. So, and by 3rd season, I really mean 2nd season. It's the 3rd arc. Gosh, Toei, get this right. Come on, please. Please, I beg you. Anyway, so I am really excited again to continue making videos. I might make a Where's the Fair Use video about my previous channel Takedown. I'm really looking forward again to the new season of Sailor Moon Crystal to make some videos about that. And I kind of want to know what you guys want to see. Would you like to see some anime reviews, manga reviews, maybe just opinion pieces? I really would like to know. Because I have a little bit of free time coming up and I would love to get started on some of that stuff. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, this is CJ signing off.